never gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Oh my goodness, I've got Tina Jarvitt in the house. How are you?
I'm very well, actually. And I just realized it's you singing, isn't it?
It is me singing.
It's
Yeah,
your voice.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
brilliant.
Thank you,
Yay.
thank you. Yeah, so it's just a fun song that I wrote ages and ages ago, not knowing that because the song is called Full Cup, and so when I set my business up, I called my business Full Cup Coaching because when you're growing your business, you look at life as a glass half full rather than half empty. So yeah, that's how I got it. I'm a little bit echoey today because I'm actually in St. Neot. So I'm doing a conference. Someone turned around to me and said, "Would you speak at a conference?" So I've got the special coveted red ribbon because that's speakers, and they put me in a little room that seems to be branded. But look, there's a little sketch note above me. I don't know where that's come from. But Tina, tell us a little bit about you, who you are, and what you do, please.
I work as a headhunter and a career coach in Belgium. So I help multinationals find talent and attract people to companies. Normally, people whom they wouldn't have found otherwise. So it's positions on global level, and I also help people who are looking for a change in their career. So that's what I do in Brussels, Belgium.
Fantastic. And do you work with anybody anywhere or specifically in Belgium?
Most of my clients, corporate clients, are in Belgium, but it can be roles that are global.
No,
So
fantastic.
it's people from different places. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm guessing you use LinkedIn to do all of this.
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. And the other thing you do, I'm gonna share it straight away because I've mentioned this little drawing here that I've done. It's nowhere near as good as yours, but down here somewhere, I have got your sketch note that you did for the show. So talk us through that sketch note, please.
So I took a course in visual storytelling and sketch notes, and it really helped me to make complex ideas more tangible, more easy to understand. And there are many people who are visual learners, so I use sketch notes to take ideas and make them into a drawing. So it's really
fantastic.
about the idea combining drawings with words.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. And so, are you an artist?
No.
No. Oh my goodness.
Really, when I took that course, before that, I had this belief that I cannot draw because when you go to the primary school, yes, then we have like one person in the class who can draw, and the rest it's like keep your day job.
Yeah.
You are not an artist, but it really shows that you can be creative in so many different ways, like you sing, or you can bake, or you can draw, or do other things where you can express your creativity. I thought we were divided into like creative people and academic people, and I was for the longest time the academic person, but we can be both.
Really. Yeah. And so you talked about my song, all right? So I'm a musician, so I'm creative, yeah? But it's only in later life that I've been doing it. I've sung all my life. I was in church choirs and school choirs, but for the rest of my life, I've raised a family, grown my career and stuff like that. And I think we should do more with the creative arts. So yeah, 3 cheers for you for doing that. And you've inspired me to find out more. So afterwards, I need to know more. So this LinkedIn thing. So did you do career stuff and headhunting, and then you thought LinkedIn was good, or was it the other way around, Tina?
I started working in the executive search industry. all I have done in my career. So in 2005, I also joined LinkedIn, and it was very different. It was really like a
My
CV
goodness.
database. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was one of the tools. Back then we used other tools as well, a lot of different tools. But nowadays LinkedIn is really the main tool for recruitment for multinational companies. For smaller companies, local companies, there are other local tools as well. But for a larger organization, I would say LinkedIn is really the top tool.
Yeah. So a company would sort of like, what sort of job titles would you be hiring for?
So management level, so top management level.
Okay. So I need a manager at my big organization. How do I know about you?
Well, it's really it goes through recommendations, because you don't hire somebody whose work you don't know. So it's somebody who has worked before, or they ask, do you know somebody who is good at finding talent? Can you recommend something? Because it really has to be someone you trust, because it's a very, very close relationship and with a big risk. So you have to have a good match there with the hiring manager and HR.
No, perfect. And obviously you're doing amazing stuff on LinkedIn. So people are seeing you, people are knowing you, people are liking you and trusting you and all of that. That's brilliant. So I've been headhunted a couple of times. Sometimes by a headhunter that's independent, and sometimes by somebody within they've got their own internal headhunting. It's quite nice. It's quite flattering. But what should I be doing to optimize LinkedIn if I'm looking for a job? Because I guess that's what you teach, yeah?
Exactly. So I see best practices, and many people don't follow them. So, like you said, there is a difference between a headhunter and a recruiter. So, recruiter is somebody who works for one company, and a headhunter is like a matchmaker. So, we work with several companies. So, if you're not a good cultural match with one company, then I would present you to other companies. But if you talk to a recruiter in a company and it's not a match, then the story ends there. So
yes,
I'm more like, somebody. If it would be in a dating situation, a recruiter would ask you on the first date, like give you a marriage proposal, whether I would be taking them to several dates, like having several conversations, getting to know them in depth. That's the only thing I do. I interview people all day long. So they build a trust relationship with me. And I always say, you don't have to decide here on the spot. Like, just go for the interview, see how is the conversation with the hiring manager. Can you see yourself working there with them? Like, take it as a conversation, not as a interrogation. So you can bring your own questions, because at the end of the day, it's you who decides if you will take the leap and leave your current company to go to another company. You take the risk. So that's where we build this relationship over a long time period. So that's the thing with headhunters. But a tip that I could give people is to optimize their LinkedIn profile. And
how do we do that? How do we do that?
I think there are three things.
Okay.
The first thing is skills. You have to optimize your profile with the right skills. So the most important skill is your current job title. So if you have a fluffy one that nobody understands and that's only used in your company, you have to use the one from the market value titles of LinkedIn.
So you're saying that 15-minute guy isn't going to work?
I wouldn't Google or do a keyword search on LinkedIn for 15-minute guy. I would go for like marketing consultant or something like that. It's the same thing, but like the director of first impressions, that means a receptionist in one company.
Yes.
I would never guess that title. So you have to have something that's foundable for other people as well. And the skills you can see on LinkedIn, for every job title, there is a combination of at least 16 skills that you need to have on your profile. Because what I look for, it's for keywords, a combination of different keywords in different industries, different locations, different education. So make sure your profile is up to date.
Okay, so the first thing is the skills, and make sure that you've got those skills that are needed for that role. So, like you say, let's just say I'm a marketing consultant. What sort of skills does a marketing consultant need? Right, make sure that I've got those on my LinkedIn profile.
So there are two ways how you can go about it. You can look on LinkedIn marketing manager positions, and in the job description, there are requirements. So you have to have those words in your skills. Or you can go to LinkedIn job tab, and there you can create a CV, and there those skills will be added. So you can do it with the premium account. It's not for the free account, but you can sign up for a premium account for a month and cancel it before you start paying, or ask somebody else to generate that kind of CV for you.
No, I love that. So when I was headhunted, I was specifically looking for another job. So I'd optimized my LinkedIn profile for the type of job I was doing. So I was applying for jobs, but then somebody headhunted me. So obviously, unbeknown, it worked. So skills. What's the next thing?
The next thing, if you're working or looking actively for a new position, I think you definitely should activate the open to work on your profile. So,
right, so this was the worry that I had. If I'd have done that, would my boss be able to see that I'm looking for another job?
So there are two things. There is the green banner around your face that's visible to that. So if you are working in a company and you don't want that your boss knows that you're job hunting, don't use that one. But if you are unemployed at the moment, then it's a different ballgame. The thing is, I can't keyword search for the green banner. So it's only a visual effect. So people in your network will see it, and people are so kind. They always want to help you. So you can do that. Or the other version is to have it really only visible for LinkedIn recruiters. So people who use the paid version, who work with headhunting and recruitment. So your boss will not be able to see that. People in your own organization will not be able to see it.
Perfect.
And I also recommend it to entrepreneurs and people who think they would never ever go back to a job again, because there are opportunities in your dream organizations, like the United Nations or the Olympic Games, where they look for people who work on a 6-month contract, like just to have a starting point of those conversations. So, and you can always say, no, thank you, I'm not interested, but just so that you get on the first page in the LinkedIn search. It's like Google. You don't want to be on page 30. Nobody will get there. You want to be on the first page.
Yep. Okay. So I'm unemployable now because I've been doing this for too long. So I'm definitely unemployable. But if they were casting the next James Bond, I'd like to know about it. So maybe I need to change my profile so that I am open to work. So only headhunters will see.
Exactly.
That's a good top tip.
And there is one thing, bless you. If you don't want your boss to see it, you can put the starting date. You have either immediately, I'm actively applying, or flexible. Meaning flexible, it could be in 5 years' time. So that shouldn't raise any red flags, because people talk in HR as well. So it's not 100% guaranteed that it will be confidential, but just by changing the starting date into flexible, you should be good to go.
No, I like that. So skills, open to work. What's the third one, Tina?
I would say active talent. So that means be active on the LinkedIn platform. So I don't say be active 15 minutes a day. That would be great, but at least once a week or once a month, because there are people who never come on LinkedIn platform, and LinkedIn shows the profiles who are active on the platform to recruiters, because there is a higher chance that you will reply to their messages. So how do they define active talent? So somebody who has updated their profile, shared a CV, if they are working in a company that's currently laying off people, or if you are replying to emails, which is the easiest thing to do, because it's difficult to know how many people do they need to lay off, and is it in all locations globally, and how long does it stay? Is it for 5 months or for a year? Or like, so I would focus on the things where you can have an impact, like showing up to the platform, engaging with the notifications, replying to emails. Even if it's not a good timing, you can just say thank you. Let's stay in touch for future opportunities, but it's not a good timing. Like, you don't even have to give an excuse. Just the fact that you reply gives the algorithm an indication that you're active, and it's the right thing to do as well.
No, and the thing is, so many people are inactive on LinkedIn, so it's not difficult to become active, is it?
Yes, and LinkedIn Recruiter has a long memory. I can see that I sent you an email 5 years ago and you didn't reply. Like, I see that. So yes, at the moment you don't need a new job, but still be polite and just reply, and no hard feelings.
Yeah, sure. Because at the moment you're trying to find, let's just say, somebody for Microsoft, and it's sort of like, look, I'm fine at the moment. But then
Yeah.
an Apple job comes along. He sent me a nice reply. I'm going to try again. Got a similar role, but it's now at Apple, and they're and you're like, right, okay, now let's have that conversation. But if I'd have blanked you or was rude to you, the last thing you want to do is place me somewhere, isn't it?
Well, in the past, it used to be like this. If I send an email and the person doesn't reply, then all the communication lines are cut off. Nowadays, it has changed. So I can send other emails as well, even if you haven't replied. But that used to be the case. So why cut off communications if I have something else to send in the future?
Yeah, you're a handy person to know, because you're going to be speaking to all these huge companies. That would they have advertised that job externally?
Oftentimes not. So
No.
I can't speak about exactly the clients, exact positions that I'm working with, because oftentimes they are confidential. It can be because of several reasons. It can happen that the person who is currently working there is going to be laid off, and the person doesn't know about it. So it's really, I don't contact people who are looking for jobs. I contact people who are not looking for jobs. So it happens that both, it can be both cases, but most people, my call comes out of the blue when you're not looking for a new job.
So you must have some interesting conversations. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and this guy was a spy. So basically, he was headhunted. So basically, what he was telling us in the podcast, he'd applied for a job at the government, and the government must have some sort of flag that brought up his information. And because of all of his history, and because of what he's doing and how he applied for this job, he's a good candidate to be a spy. So they messaged him and they said, look, we'd like to invite you to this interview. and I can't think how it was worded or something. And then they phoned him and they said, right, okay, we want you to come here. That we're going to send you a ticket, a plane ticket. We're going to have accommodation for you. There'll be a hire car at the airport for you. And he's there on the phone, and then whoever he's talking to, it's like, right, okay, is this a prank call? And no, it's legit, but you're not allowed to tell anybody because obviously it's a spy. And so anyway, it all comes in the mail, and then he goes, but you must, sort of like, hi, I'm ringing on behalf of, I'd say, Apple again. We want you to come and do so and so, and I'm there going, really? They want me? Oh, interesting. So, do you have funny conversations with people? You have to convince them that it's real.
Yes, and it used to be more in the past when it was like office landlines and like the first thing when a person picks up the phone, I was listening like, can I hear other people in the background? Then I explain who I am. And the first question was like, is it a good moment to speak? I can call you back after office hours or before office hours or Saturday morning. Like, you tell me when are you able to speak? Now with the working from home policy in many companies, it's much easier to speak to people.
Yeah,
but I always, because I always have to make sure that the person is feeling at ease. So because you can't talk about your salary expectations in an open working space.
Not if your boss is on the next table.
Exactly.
So, I've actually had it. Seriously, I've had it. My phone's gone off, and I sort of like, don't recognize the number. Hello, hi there. I'm headhunting you. Oh, hello, darling. You want me to get some bread? Yeah, I'll get some bread and some milk. Okay. Yeah, 4 pints of milk and some bread. I'll get that for you later. And on the other end, they're going, oh, you can't talk. No, I can't. Shall I ring you back at 5? How about 5:30? Perfect. Yeah, that's a good idea. Do that. Yeah, okay. So I'll get your bread and milk. Bye-bye. And but I guess you're used to that, aren't you?
Well, it sounds more dramatic in your version, but yeah, something like that.
I'm paranoid. I'm absolutely paranoid because you never know who's listening in. And so, so you have these calls and yeah, absolutely. So we've optimized our profile. We've got skills and we've said we're open for work. What else do we need to do?
So those are really the three main things.
Be active and be active.
Yes, like take action. That's the thing. Just by thinking about it, it doesn't get your results.
Yeah. And should I be commenting on Apple and Microsoft, or doesn't it matter?
Yes, it does matter. Yeah, so okay. when I'm looking for candidates, I can see if they are following the company and also the date when you started following Apple. So if you started following them last week or 3 years ago, I see the month and the year when you started following. And you can also, on some company pages, you can click on I'm interested. So that sends a discrete message to the recruiters in that company. It's not available on all pages, but that makes you interested for up to a year for that specific company and that location. And what is also important is to have company connections. So if you want to work for Apple, connect to somebody in that company. Just one connection already puts you in front of other candidates. And it doesn't have to be somebody from the recruitment department. They are busy. They get messages all the time. Go for people in your own department, like marketing department. See who is active on LinkedIn, like comment on their posts. And then when you send a connection request, they already know who you are. But be strategic about those connections. If there are 20 dream companies, make a list of those, follow the companies and get at least one connection and ask the connection, how is it to work here? Like, ask about the company culture. Sometimes the website looks great, but maybe they are going through a lot of reorganizations, like 5 reorganizations in 5 years. Like, you wouldn't get this information otherwise. But yeah.
Yeah, sure. Here's a top tip. I was headhunted for a role, and I wanted to know how much marketing was going to do to help because it was a sales role. So I found out who the marketing person was on LinkedIn, connected with them on LinkedIn, and then had a call with them. I said, look, hi, I've got an interview with you guys in a couple of weeks' time or whenever it was. Can I ask you a few questions about your marketing efforts? And so we had this chat. And apparently the story goes, she actually went and found the hiring manager and said, you need to speak to this guy. He's been on the phone, etc., etc. I got the job, which was incredible. But I'd never thought about LinkedIn and doing that in the past. But it was a really, really good job. And that just gave me a different insight into that business. So yeah, it's
fantastic.
LinkedIn is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I got goosebumps when you were telling this story, because that shows also that internal sources, like this person is already vouching for you that Ashley can do the job. Like you need to talk to him. It doesn't mean that you got the contract, but at least it's the same thing when you go to an interview. When you talk to the receptionist, like all the first impressions, everything, it starts already how you get out of your car. Like if they're looking for an energetic person, then be that already when you arrive there. So that's a really, really good tip, Ashley.
No, and it worked. It absolutely worked. So yeah, we've run out of time, but I'm going to see you soon, aren't I?
Yes, we are going to be meeting in 2 weeks' time in Birmingham.
Is it only 2 weeks away?
Yay!
Oh, that is so exciting. I cannot wait. So are you a hugger?
Yes, I am.
Excellent, because I am. So look, when you see me coming towards you like this, I'm coming for a hug. So you're actually talking at Uplift Live, aren't you?
Yes, I will be one of the speakers, and I will be talking about...
You'll be wearing a red ribbon, will you, maybe?
Probably pink.
And pink, okay.
We will see. Sometimes wishes come true. So I will be talking about LinkedIn Recruiter, how it works, which options there are for larger companies, smaller companies, and also how to be found, so that people, the LinkedIn enthusiasts who come from all over the world to the first UK's LinkedIn conference, that they can help their clients and people who need to optimize their profile, because there are so many myths, like what is important and how to fill it in. And some things, like, for example, LinkedIn banner. I don't even see your LinkedIn banner in the LinkedIn Recruiter version. So it doesn't make a difference if you will be found. Wow. So all those tips, I will be talking about it. And I hope that this information will be shared with other enthusiasts as well.
Fantastic. And you've got something secret happening, or something like a big launch or something as well?
Yes. Also this month, like we were talking about the sketch notes earlier, I also wrote a book about how to be found by recruiters on LinkedIn. So it's with those visuals and tips how to optimize it. So if you don't remember all the tips, you can get everything from the book.
Fantastic. Oh, absolutely superb. Tina, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. I can't wait to meet you in a couple of weeks' time. Before we go, I just want to give a quick shout out to my guest next week. I've got Lucy Griffiths. Now, I've been following Lucy Griffiths for a while, and she's agreed to come on my show. So she's going to come on and talk about membership coaching, but also how she's using LinkedIn. So the date's wrong on that, but it is next Tuesday. So I've got Lucy coming in next week. Tina, you've been absolutely fantastic. Passing comment for anybody listening today. What do you love most about LinkedIn?
Well, it's the community, and I also see that Jeff Young from the US is joining us, and it's really, you find like-minded people who want to help you, who want to see you grow, like all the sketch notes and everything. it was thanks to the people who were so enthusiastic about it, who encouraged me to continue with that. So I'm very appreciative about the community.
Oh,
and we
fantastic.
get to meet each other.
Absolutely. So I'm been speaking at this event today talking about LinkedIn, and one of the reasons for doing LinkedIn is you can have fun, and that's what we do, isn't it, Tina? Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for everybody watching. If you're listening on the podcast, if you go scroll down, you can find all the details of the LinkedIn Uplift Live and contact details for Tina. But thanks ever so much, Tina. Cheerio.
Bye.
You get out what you put in.